Hey guys, this is Farah, computer teacher at Girls High School in Kabul. Okay, right now we are at the third session of our HTML course, and this course is for 9th grade. In this session, we'll talk about HTML syntax and some other concepts. The outline for today's lesson is first, we are gonna understand for basic HTML syntax. Then we'll understand about Doctype Declaration. Then we will understand about kinds of HTML elements. And finally, like our previous session, we'll work on an example. And in that example, I will show you how to consider all the syntaxes of HTML, how to declare HTML declaration, how to bring some HTML elements. Okay, now HTML element syntax. Look, before I tell you anything about HTML element syntax, I want to give you a real example. Suppose you want to communicate with a person and you want to say something to her. So if you start talking to her by saying some separate and disordered words, do you think that that person can understand what you mean? Never. Why? Because you didn't consider the grammar of that language. The grammar tells you how to arrange your words and make a meaningful sentence, and how to arrange your sentences to make a meaningful paragraph. So considering of grammar in your daily speaking is so important. The same of that, when computer wants to communicate with internet and uses HTML programming language, for using this language, it needs to consider some rules. So let's see about those rules and syntax more. Look, human language needs grammar, but computer language needs syntax. It means for the grammar of computer language, we call what? Syntax. The HTML syntax is as follows. We have 4 main syntax about HTML programming language. The first one. An HTML element starts with a starting tag and ends with an ending tag. Let's see by an example. Look, first I have starting tag, then I have content, and then I have the ending tag. The second rule. HTML content is everything from starting tag to the ending tag. It means from a starting tag, let's see, from starting tag up to the ending tag, whatever you can see inside them, that's called what? Content. And then number 3, most HTML elements can have attributes. Attributes. What attribute is? You don't know. I will tell you next session, but right now, it's soon for you that I tell you right now. Just you keep it in your mind that all the HTML elements, or most of the HTML elements, can have what? Attributes. From one attribute up to several attributes. Okay? The example of that, if you remember our previous session, we had a text, and we wrote that text, or we typed that text inside H1 tag, and then we wanted to change the color of that text to yellow. The text was what? Hello world, and we wanted to change that text to yellow color. We used a syntax we used an attribute which was named style, and let me bring the pointer, which was named style, and then we give a color, the yellow color, for that text. Number 3, some HTML elements can't have content. Some HTML elements can't have content. Like what? Like these 3 HTML elements. BR, which is taken from brick, and HR, which is used for making horizontal line, and ing, which is used for making image. Okay, look, br brings a distance between your elements, but this distance will be what? Vertically, not horizontally. Okay, we'll talk about that in our example, don't worry about that. Now, the Doctype Declaration. What is Doctype Declaration? The Doctype Declaration helps the browser to display a web page correctly. Why? Look, it is not like this that suddenly we had HTML, and that HTML was HTML version 5 that right now we are using, and we can use it. No, before HTML version 5, we had several kinds of HTML. Like HTML version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, 4.1, and etc. Until right now that we use HTML version 5. So if we don't declare the type of HTML version to the browser will get confused. It won't understand that right now that the coder, which is coding, these codes are according to which kind of HTML. When the browser gets confused, sometimes it causes that browser don't be able to display the result of your HTML code correctly. For example, you write the code according to HTML version 5, but browser thinks those codes are according to HTML version 1. So there are some codes that browser doesn't know that, doesn't support that, and finally it doesn't display the result. So we use Doctype until we mention the browser and tell it that, hey browser, this HTML that I am using right now is according to version 1, or is according to version 2, or is according to version 5. Okay, in this course we are going to study HTML version 5 or HTML5, and the Doctype for HTML version 5 is this one. First, you open the angle bracket, then you use exclamation mark, and then you write Doctype. But this Doctype should always be what? Capital letters. And then you write HTML with small letters, and then you close the angle bracket. There is an example. In this example, you can see that I declared the declaration of HTML. It means the Doctype of HTML, and then there are other codes that I don't want to tell you anything about them during our semester, and of course you will get familiar with that. And finally we have H1 tag that it makes what? Heading. And H1 means the biggest heading, the boldest heading that we can use in our web page. Now, generally we have two kinds of HTML elements. First one is HTML nested or pair elements, and the second one is HTML empty or single elements. Let's have a look to HTML nested or pair elements. HTML nested or pair, all the elements are pair. It means nested elements or pair elements are always pair according to its name, according to what its name implies. In this case, between opening and closing tag, we can insert other HTML elements. How? I will tell you by an example. Look, if you remember our previous session and the example that I worked in there, you could see that I opened the body tag, then I closed the body tag, and inside body tag, I started writing my text inside each one tag. Look, one tag inside another tag. It is called what? Nested. is called what? Per elements. There is an example. Look right now. First we have tag, which is taken from italic. This tag causes until your content, which is a text, be shown italic, and each one is used for what? For making a heading. Look, each one is opened and closed, but inside another tag, which is what? I tag. This is called what? Nested elements. Now we come to single elements. HTML empty elements are always single and they don't accept any other elements between themselves, unlike per elements. Because they have only starting tags. It means they don't have any closing tag, and in order to accept any other elements. Like what? Like this example. We have a text, and then we have HR tag, which makes a horizontal line under this text. Now we go to next part, which is what? Let's work on an example. Yes, let's work on an example. So let's open the Sublime Text. Sublime Text. Yes. And this is our previous example. I close it and I open a new file. Yeah, in this new file. First of all, we talked about what? About HTML declaration. So in declaration of HTML, I said first we open the angle bracket, then we put the what? The exclamation mark, and then we write Doctype. But this Doctype should be what? Capital. Then we write HTML with small letters, and we close the angle bracket. Then, as I said in previous example, all the HTML documents are divided into how many parts? 2 parts. The first part is head, the second part is body. But for making an HTML document, we have to use the what? HTML tag, and we write everything inside HTML tag. When we open, we have to close the HTML tag as well. Then the head part, head, and then I close the head part. Then I open the body part, and then I close the body part. I talked about what? About nested elements. Nested element means what? Means one element, look, one element inside another element. That element is what? HTML element. Look, we have HTML element. Inside that we have head, and then we have what? Body. It means one element inside another element, and this is called what? Nested. Okay, we talked about nested. Now I want to talk about the 4 rules of HTML. In first rule of HTML, we said that everything from starting tag up to ending tag is what? Is content. So let's make a content. For example, I use H2, then I write some text. For example, we want to talk about Pacific oceans. Ocean. And then I close the H2. What is H2? It is a tag for making heading, but H2 is smaller than H1, okay? The size of H2 is smaller than H1. Look, this is our title. Then I want to bring the what? I want to bring a line. For making a line, we use HR tag. HR tag is for making a line, and it is what? Single. But this one was what? Per. Okay? After line, I wanna bring some text. For example, some sample text until we show like this, that our web page talks about Pacific Ocean and gives information about Pacific Ocean. So for making a paragraph, we have another tag which is called what? P tag. Okay, then inside P, inside the starting tag of P and closing tag of P, we write our information. I don't have enough time that I write some real information, so I bring a sample text. How to bring a sample text? We open WinWord, yes. We wait until it's opened. I don't know why it's delaying. Okay, until it is opened, let's talk about other parts. I talked about this, that inside starting tag and ending tag, whatever which comes is called what? Content. Then I talked about pair tags, that HTML tags are mostly pair, but sometimes they can be what? Single. And about attribute of a tag. Look, I will bring some attributes inside this tag, but before of that, I want to bring some text inside my P tag. So let's see if the Word document is opened. Is it opened? Yes. So I close it. Yes. Look, I'm gonna make sample text. For making sample text, we have to write equal rand, open and close, and enter. Look, I have some sample text. Copy, Ctrl C, then I go to my web page, my code, I paste that. Look, this is the information. For example, this is the information about the Pacific Ocean. And it is only one paragraph. I will show you how to increase the number of paragraphs. We're totally done with our example, so let's save this, and then where I want to save in desktop, I want to give it another name, secant.html. Why .html? Because I want to make this file an HTML file. Okay, I save it, I go to my desktop. This is secant. Look, secant.html. I open it by a browser. You can see I have a title, which is Pacific Ocean. Then I have what? Some text about the Pacific Ocean. But my information is not enough, so let's work on our demo more. So I come to here. Sorry, I don't come to here. Yeah, here, and I copy all the P. It means all the everything from starting tag of P up to ending tag of P. Ctrl C. Okay, then I come down and I paste it once again. After pasting, Ctrl S for saving the changes. I go to my web page once again, and then I refresh. Look, right now I have 2 paragraphs, but I think that the distance between my first paragraph and second paragraph is not actually good. I want to make more distance. So let's see how to bring more distance. After the closing tag of my first paragraph, I write the tag of what? BR. BR means what? Break. Ctrl S for saving the changes. I come to my web page and then refresh. Look, right now the distance is this much, but when I refresh, you could see that distance is more. It was because of what? Because of BR tag, okay? So let's make it more beautiful. For beautifying our web page, we use attributes. The first attribute, or the best attribute for writing CSS codes and line, is what? Style. Yes, I write style, the inside here. For example, I wanna change the font style of my the font style of my heading. So I say font style should be italic. Okay. Control S, I go to web page. Why I come to web page each time? Because I show you the difference. Okay, look, right now it's what? It is italic. Suppose that I want to make these two paragraphs italic as well. So just don't do anything. Copy this part, Control C, come to starting tag of P, and Control V for pasting. Control S for saving, and we go to our web page and then refresh. Could you see? Now it is italic as well. So I want to change this second one as well. Once again, I copy, Control C, I come to this tag, I make a distance, and Control V for pasting. Control S for saving. I come to my web page and I refresh it. Now my web page looks a little bit beautiful, more beautiful. So suppose I want to change the color of my for example, I want to change the color of my title. Yes, so in here I only write a semicolon, I type semicolon, and then I say color should be another, should be changed. Like which color? Like blue. Control S, we go to our web page, we refresh the page. Yeah, it is blue. And then I say my line should be blue as well. So this is the line, yeah. So I write the style tag. Then I say the border color should be blue as well. Control S for saving the changes. I refresh the page and you can see. Now this is my web page, but I don't like the color of my my web page. Once again, I come to body part, I write BG color, and the color of it should be like what color do you like? Do you like green? No, green is not so beautiful. Let's make it for example, light green. Let's see if we have light green color. Yes, light green. Look, I have information. Suppose you made a web page that talks about Pacific Ocean, and then it brings more information about Pacific Ocean. We are done. And with working on this example, I think I worked on everything that I taught you today, like the 4 syntax of HTML, then the Doctype, then I talked about the pair elements, like this one. I talked about single elements like HR and BR, and yeah, I talked about everything. So let's go to our presentation once again. Yeah. Now we are at the end of our 3rd session, and if you have any question, you can ask me via your WhatsApp group. And I hope you enjoyed this lesson. It was so easy, and wish you all the best. Bye.